Have you ever found yourself eagerly waiting for payday, as if your salary were a lifeline in a sea of bills? Many people live like this. They work the whole month, get paid, pay the bills, and that's it. The money disappears like water slipping through your fingers. But Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, teaches us something very important. It's not how much you earn that makes the difference, but what you do with what you earn. Many people see their salary as a ceiling, a dure limitation. I only make this much, so I can only live this way. But that's the mindset of the poor dad, as Kiyosaki would say. The rich dad, on the other hand, taught his son to see the salary as a tool, not an end. A lever to build wealth, not a wall that traps you. Imagine this. Your salary is like a seed. If you just eat it, it feeds you for a day. But if you plant that seed in the right soil, it can become a fruit tree. And a fruit tree produces fruit. For years, most people trade. Time for money. They work 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, and at the end of the month, receive a fixed amount. This is the famous rat race, as Kiyosaki calls it. Run, run, and never get anywhere. Now stop and think. What if, instead of just working for money, you started making your money work for you? The change starts here. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an investor. Even if today you rely on your salary, start seeing it as seed capital for something bigger. It doesn't matter if you earn a lot or a little. What matters is how you manage that money. Those who only work for a salary are always building someone else's dream. But those who learn to use their salary as a tool start building their own dream. So tell me, do you want to spend the next few years chasing bills, or would you rather start now building your financial freedom? Once you understand that your salary is a tool, not a limit, comes the next essential step, using part of what you earn to invest in your future. Robert Kiyosaki always said, "The poor work for money, the rich make money work for them." And that starts when you consciously decide not to spend everything you earn. Instead, you set aside a portion, even if small, to plant seeds that will later bear fruit. Think about it. Every time you get your salary and spend it all on bills, entertainment, clothes, or small installments that seem harmless, you're simply feeding the present but starving the future. Now imagine taking 10% of your salary, just 10%, and deciding to invest it. It could be in a course to learn something new, a book that opens your mind, or even a mutual fund, a safe investment, or a small business. Kiyosaki learned from the rich dad that knowledge is one of the best investments. Because when you invest in yourself, no one can take that away from you. And that knowledge can open doors to opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Want a simple example? Let's say you use part of your salary to take a digital marketing course. In a few months, you could start offering services to companies, earn extra income, and that income, in turn, can also be invested. And so the cycle begins. You can start small. The important thing is to start. Set aside an amount every month, as if it were a mandatory bill, the bill for your future. Make it a habit. Be disciplined. After all, if you can't live on 90% of what you earn today, it's unlikely you'll manage to live well, even if you earn twice as much tomorrow. Robert Kiyosaki says that true financial security comes when you create income sources that don't rely on your direct effort. And the first step toward that is invest part of what you earn, even if it's little, even if it seems insignificant now. Time and compound interest work miracles, but only for those who plant today. Have you ever heard that saying, "The more we earn, the more we spend"? Exactly. That's one of the biggest enemies of your financial freedom. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that if you want to get out of the rat race, you need to learn to live on less than you earn, even if you earn little. Let's go with a simple example. Imagine You make $800 a month. Most people will spend the full $800. Rent, food, transport, a new phone, a snack here, a delivery there, and poof, the money's gone. Now think differently. What if you decided to live on $700, saving $100 each month? With $100 a month, in 1 year you'd have $200 saved. That may not seem like much, but it's a start. That money can become an investment, an emergency fund, or even help you start something that generates extra income, like selling something online or learning a new skill. The secret isn't how much you earn, but how you use what you earn. Even with little, those who live below their means can grow. Meanwhile, those who spend everything, or more than they have, stay stuck with nothing left at the end of the month. Kiyosaki always said, "It's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you can save and multiply." So before buying something new, ask yourself, do I really need this now? Or can I use this money for something that will help me in the future? Those who live with less today live with more tomorrow. Do you know exactly where your money goes every month? If your answer is no, that's one of the reasons why. It disappears so quickly. Robert Kiyosaki said, "The first step to getting out of the rat race is knowing where your money is going." Controlling your expenses isn't complicated. In fact, it can be very simple. Let's imagine you earn $600 a month. If you don't track your spending, you'll think everything's fine. $10 here, $5 there, $20 on something you didn't even need. And suddenly the money's gone, and you don't even know how. But if you write everything down, you might be surprised. For example, rent, $250 food, $150, transport, $50 internet and phone, $30 snacks and delivery, $40 small unnoticed purchases. Look, in just those small expenses you spent $120, money that could have been saved or invested. Creating a simple budget on a piece of paper or a free app changes everything. You start to see where you're overspending, where you can cut back, and how you can have money left over at the end of the month. Kiyosaki teaches us that it's not about working more to earn more, but about making the money we already have work better. And controlling expenses is the first step. If you know where your money is going, you can decide where it should go. Remember, whoever controls their expenses controls their future. This is one of Robert Kiyosaki's most important lessons. Pay yourself first. But what does that mean? Before paying your bills, buying anything, or spending on fun, you should set aside a portion of your money for yourself, for your savings or investments. Sounds strange? But it works like this. Imagine you earn $500 a month. Before paying rent, electricity, water, groceries, or anything else, you set aside $50 to save or invest. That's your priority. When you do that, you're telling your money, "You're important. I'm going to take care of you first." Many people only think about saving what's left at the end of the month, and usually there's nothing left. But those who pay themselves first, every month, create a powerful habit. That saved money grows over time and helps you reach bigger goals, such as having an emergency fund, making an investment that generates extra income, buying something important without needing a loan. Robert Kiyosaki explains that those who pay themselves first are putting the future above the present. And that's the kind of attitude that builds wealth. Start by setting aside an amount you can afford, even $10, $20 a month. The important thing is the habit. Over time, the money you save will multiply. Debt can be a major issue for anyone trying to take control of their finances and build wealth. Robert Kiyosaki always warns that not all debt is the same, but unnecessary debt should be avoided. For example, imagine you want to buy a new phone that costs $300. You don't have the money now, so you decide to buy it on a credit card with high interest. One of the biggest mindset shifts taught by Robert Kiyosaki is stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow, but rather that you should change the way you view money and opportunities. People who think like employees usually seek security, a steady paycheck, stability, and try to avoid risks at all costs. On the other hand, those who think like owners look for opportunities. They want to create something, solve problems, and make money work for them. For example, an employee says, "I need a job that pays more." An owner thinks, "How can I create something that generates more value?" It's a mindset difference. While one waits to be paid, the other looks for ways to generate income independently, even if starting small. Thinking like an owner means looking for solutions, not just completing tasks, seeing opportunities where no one else is looking. Creating income streams, even with little money, taking responsibility for your own growth. You can stay in your job, but start thinking like someone who wants to grow, learn, and become financially independent. Those with an owner's mindset know that time and money must be used wisely, and that every small step can lead to future freedom. This is one of the most important lessons from Robert Kiyosaki. The rich buy assets. People with financial difficulties often buy liabilities, thinking they're assets. But what does that mean? Assets are things that put money in your pocket. Liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket. For example, assets, a small business that makes a profit, stocks that pay dividends, a rental property, an online course you sell. Liabilities, a brand new car with high monthly payments, an expensive phone bought on credit, a house larger than you need. Impulse purchases. Many people think they're becoming richer when they buy a new car, expensive furniture, or upgrade their phone every year. But most of these things actually take money out of your pocket. The real change happens when you start buying things that give you a return. Even if you start small, the important thing is to think long-term. Before buying anything, ask this simple question: will this put money in my pocket or take it out? That mindset changes everything. In the end, you might pay $400 or $500 for something just because of the interest. These are the kinds of bad debts Kiyosaki talks about. Debts that don't bring any financial return and only add more pressure to your finances. Also, impulse purchases, like that outfit, dinner out, or a product on sale, can lead you to accumulate unnecessary debt. Here's a simple tip. Plan your purchases whenever possible. Pay in full. Avoid credit cards for non-essential purchases. If you need something expensive, save up instead of financing it. Kiyosaki teaches that debts that generate returns, like a loan to start a business or invest in education, can be good. But debts that just consume your money and bring more worries are not. So be careful not to let debt hold you back. It can be the chain keeping you from growing financially. If you want to improve your life, earning more money is essential. And Robert Kiyosaki always emphasizes this. But it's not enough to wait for a raise or stay at the same salary forever. You need to look for ways to increase your income. For example, if you earn $700 a month, think, how can I make a bit more? Here are a few ways. Learn a new skill, like fixing things, cooking, or working online. Take a side job on weekends, sell crafts, tutor students, or deliver packages. Start a small business from home, like selling sweets or products online. Study to get a promotion or a better job. Kiyosaki says financial education is the way to discover these opportunities. The more you invest in yourself, the more chances you have to increase your income. Remember, just earning more isn't enough if your lifestyle increases at the same rate. So when you earn more money, control your spending and keep investing in your financial freedom. Increasing income is a key step for anyone who wants to get out of hardship and achieve financial independence. We've reached one of the most important points for achieving financial freedom: learning how to turn part of your salary into investments that work for you. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that working only for a paycheck is living in the rat race, that situation where you trade time for money, and if you stop working, you stop earning. The solution: make your money work for you. Let's imagine a simple example. You earn $800 a month. After paying all your bills and living below your means, you manage to set aside $100 each month to invest. But where to invest? Kiyosaki talks about investing in assets, things that put money in your pocket instead of just costing you money. Some examples he gives: invest in financial education. Learn about finance, business, and investing to make better decisions. Buy small businesses, even something simple, like reselling products or investing in a low-cost franchise. Invest in stocks. Buy a small part of a company that grows and pays dividends, a kind of rent on your investment. Rental properties. Buy a house or apartment to rent and earn monthly income. Create passive income streams. This could be an online course, a YouTube channel, or any business that earns money without needing you there all the time. Why is this important? Because these investments generate passive income, money that keeps coming in every month, even when you're resting, traveling, or taking care of your family. Imagine how your life would be if, besides your salary, you received $100, $200, or more per month from other sources. Kiyosaki always says you need to make your money work for you instead of working for money. But be careful. It's not magic and it's not fast. Starting to invest with little money takes discipline, study, and patience. It's like planting a tree. At first, you only see a small seedling. But if you take care of it, over time, it grows and bears lots of fruit. So even if your money is limited, start now. Set aside a portion of your salary, study, look for opportunities, and begin building your investment portfolio. This is the path to leaving financial insecurity behind and living with more freedom and peace of mind. One of the most important secrets to changing your financial life, according to Robert Kiyosaki, is to never stop learning about money. You've probably heard that the world changes fast, right? Money does too. What worked 10 years ago might not work today. That's why financial education can't be something you do once. It has to be a daily habit. Here are a few simple ways to learn every day, even if you have little time. Read an article or watch a short video about finances. Listen to podcasts while doing daily tasks. Join groups or communities that talk about money and investments. Read books or ebooks about managing money better at your own pace. Write down your questions and look for trustworthy answers. Kiyosaki always says, education is the key that opens doors to financial opportunities. The more you learn, the more confident you'll be to make important decisions, like where to invest, when to save, or when to take a risk. Also, learning about money helps you avoid common mistakes, like getting into bad debt or falling into consumption traps. Remember, knowledge isn't an expense, it's an investment, one that will bring returns for the rest of your life. Start today. Small steps every day, no matter how simple, will transform your financial future. If you like these tips and want to transform your financial life, don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this advice. That way, more people can learn to manage money better and build a safer future. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.